All right, so this is everybody's dream cabin, right? I mean, you take this, but look what happens when I tilt it 20 degrees. Now, how are you expecting to sleep on this thing? Now check this one out. You put a pillow against the hull and then you have something to brace your back on while you're out to sea, offshore. This is designed to be comfortable at sea. If you're leaning over this way, you get on this side. If you're leaning over this way, you get on this side. Super comfy. This one, this is designed to sell at a boat show. The point of me showing you this is to explain that much of the advice that new cruisers are getting is just like that bed. It's super sexy and sounds and looks really good until you actually get offshore. What's up, everybody? My name is James. Thank you for tuning in. I've spent the last better part of 20 years living aboard sailboats and sailing all around the world, and this is what I've learned. There is some terrible advice for new cruisers. So today we're going to break down 4 of the worst pieces of advice I've ever heard, and more importantly, what somebody should have told me before I left the dock. Ready? Let's go. So bad advice number 1, buy a boat that fits your lifestyle. Sounds great, right? You love to cook in your big open kitchen with lots of counter space, and you want that on your boat. You love your open concept living room, and you want that on your boat. Or maybe you love long, hot showers, and that is a non-negotiable. You have to have that on a boat just to be able to live on it. Well, here's the truth. The ocean doesn't care about your lifestyle. You're not building a floating condo. This is not an apartment. This is not a car. Both of those are horrible analogies. This is a machine for surviving at sea while you're going from one destination to the other. Now, this message is for offshore cruisers. It's really not meant for every single person watching. But if you want to go far on a boat, you got to get that out of your head. You cannot build the boat around your lifestyle. It's a stupid idea. It's horrible advice, really. It's irresponsible. If you're giving people this advice, you're being irresponsible. Stop doing that. This is why people hate offshore passages, because they have a crazy boat that pounds like hell, and it's not comfortable, and the motion comfort's not right, and it's jerky, and it's, every wave they can feel it and they can hear it, and they're scared, and yeah, that'll drive people mad. After a while, you're done. I don't want to be on that boat. I don't even want to be on that boat, and I love sailing. If you want a visual example, you saw the bed example. Here's another one. This is the salon of an Amel Super Maramoo. You can see that there's just little passages to get through and get around and get through the table and get through everywhere. And you can put a hip against almost anywhere, and there's grab handles everywhere. And you can safely navigate yourself through this boat in a seaway without flying across the room. Conversely, this is a Bavaria C57. This is a very open plan. It looks great at a boat show. Not so good out to sea or anything with this big open floor plan like this. It's not safe out to sea. Or here's another representation. This is one salon. It has a couple of seats and a circular berth, and it looks really pretty, but it's not functional. Where are you going to sleep? If you can't sleep in your bed because it's a walk around bed and you're falling off of it, and you come out here, where are you going to sleep? Are you going to curl up like a cat on the circular settee? Or would you rather have something like the Swan? Now, this is an offshore berth. You put a couple lee cloths on the bottom, and you've got 4 people now sitting center line of the boat in the most comfortable berths, and that's what they're built for. This is the type of boat that you want for offshore. I constantly hear people say, well, I'm only offshore for 10% of the time, so I'll just deal with that, and I'll be uncomfortable, and it'll be fine. That is so insanely backwards. The sea can get crazy. Be careful. Be careful making decisions that way. But it does lead me beautifully into the second piece of bad advice, which is buy a boat that's comfortable on anchor because you're going to be there most of the time. This is another one of those pieces of advice that sounds logical, right? Most cruisers do spend most of their time on anchor, like significantly more. But here's the actual truth. You can make any offshore boat comfortable at anchor. You cannot make any inshore boat comfortable at sea. So let's talk about how to make one of these cruising boats more comfortable at anchor. You throw a cockpit enclosure on it. Now you got another whole salon up on the top that's shielded from the wind and the rain and the sun and everything. You can be heated. You buy some bean bags and put them on the outside of the boat. Now you got a whole nother area you can sit and chill and enjoy. A boom awning actually really, really does wonders if you're in the tropics and you got a lot of sun. That'll really open up a lot of space outside that you can enjoy. And then, of course, the age-old hammock. I've seen people on smaller boats put out the boom and have a hammock going from the boom to the back of the boat over the water. It's a beautiful thing. You just be a little creative on how to make your boat more comfortable for extended living. And that way you have a strong boat when you go out to sea and a comfortable boat when you're on anchor. I've had bulkheads completely delaminate out to sea, like separate the plywood and water coming in. I've had grids pop off the bottom of the boat and the keel starts moving and water's coming up through the keel. This is out to sea, hundreds of miles offshore. Please do not buy boats that this can happen to you. Anybody giving you this piece of advice, buy a boat for the anchorage, has probably never seen a front coming at them 300 miles out to sea. It's scary. You don't want to be on a light little catamaran when that stuff's coming. Okay, bad advice number 3 is buy a boat fast enough to outrun the storms. Get a fast cat with dagger boards and you can never get hit by storms because you're going to be going storm speed or more. And it sounds good. It really does. It's sexy. Just go faster than the storms. I wish that was possible. But you would have to be at least a day or two ahead of the storms, and that's not where the wind is to go that fast. When the wind picks up, the wave state picks up. And when the wave state picks up, you slow the boat down. I don't care who you are or what boat you have. If the waves are over 15 feet, which they are, over 30 knots, then you can't sail at that speed. You're sailing at a low speed, and now you're getting the shit kicked out of you in the storm. And that piece of advice is just completely wrong. No boats are really made to handle that. Look at the Vendée Globe boats. There's full carbon. They're going 30 knots in that kind of weather, and they fold in half. I mean, you don't want to put your house through that. You don't want to stress your boat out like that. That's not what cruisers do. In a serious storm, you slow down. You even stop. That's why I'm a big proponent for monohull boats, because they can heave too, and they can just let the storm go right over top of them and then come right out of the heave too and keep going. It's not a big deal. Catamarans need to run, and when they run, they need a drogue. Sometimes if the waves get too big, they can be going too fast down the waves and bury into the trough of the next wave. And you got to have a little bit more skill to sail a cat. We'll do a cat and mono video later on, but that's just the honest truth. I'm being completely honest with you guys. So in sake of full honesty, here is the 4th worst piece of advice I've ever gotten. With the current technology, there is no reason to worry. If shit hits the fan, just call for help. Just pop the eBird, push the button on the AIS, push the button on the VHF, and somebody will come and help you. This one really pisses me off because that is such a stupid way to sail. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be an offshore sailor, we have been doing this a long time. It's been thousands of years that human beings have been sailing across the world. Maybe longer when you take into consideration the Polynesians. Nobody ever went out to sea with the mindset that, I'm not going to worry about myself. I can just push a button. I'm not going to worry about having a life raft. I can just push a button. That's stupid. That's crazy. That's how people die. If you're thinking this way, what you're telling yourself is, this technology, this box that I have, is going to replace seamanship. I don't need to be a good sailor. I don't need to be a good mariner and to have good seamanship and to know what I'm doing in a crisis and to be able to take care of myself and to be able to get in the water and plug that hull. No, I'm just going to let the boat sink and I'm going to push this button. Even though the waves are 40 feet, it's blowing 50 knots and a helicopter can't even get out to me. I'm just going to push a button. Somebody will come for me. That is insane. You are on your own. The EPIRB is for when you're done, when you've already fixed everything and now you're drifting somewhere. I'm in the life raft. We're drifting to China. I want to push that EPIRB to let people know, hey, I'm out here. I only have a week of water. Can somebody please know that I'm in trouble so they can come get me? I'm fine, though. I'm good for a week. I mean, it might take them 4 or 5 days to get to you. Some of these Vendée Globe racers and round the world racers, it's taken them a week or 2 or more. So that's what that's for. It's a backup. Same with your engine and your sails. Sails first, auxiliary engine. Take seamanship first, auxiliary EPIRB. Look, all this information, it makes complete sense on land. But offshore, it's a different game. It's uncomfortable. It's dynamic. It's beautiful. It's humbling. And the only way to make it through isn't tech or speed or wishful thinking. It's seamanship. It's smart prep. It's solid gear. And it's the right mindset. That's what I wish somebody would have told me 20 years ago. All right, if you guys are part of our Patreon crew, you will know that I am writing a book. I'm 60,000 words in. I am almost done. I'm about 90% done with it. It's called Be the Captain. It's basically everything I wish I would have known 20 years ago. Like if I could go back and tell myself, this is what you need. This is important. This is some tricks that you're going to learn in the next 20 years. This is the book that I wish I had. It's some of my best writing I've ever done in my life. I'm very proud of it. I've written articles for many sailing magazines, but those were all like 1,500 to 3,000 words. This is almost 70,000 words, and I am super excited about it. So excited that I want to share it with you. I'd like to read you the first 500 words, all right? I know it will resonate with you, so just bear with me. If you don't want to listen to this, skip it, go to the next video. But this is my new book. Chapter 1, Think Like a Captain. This isn't just a book about sailing. It's not about buying gear, chasing trends, or showing off some dream lifestyle. This is about something deeper, something older. The kind of knowledge passed down between sailors over campfires, on night watches, and in the quiet moments out to sea when the ocean has finally gone still. Because if you're here, this is the beginning of 2 significant relationships in your life. The first is the relationship with your boat. She won't be a thing, not for long. She'll become your protector, your teacher, your shelter. You'll sleep inside her, you'll sweat over her systems, talk to her hull, listen to her when something doesn't sound quite right, because she will talk back. You need to learn to listen. To when she needs attention, to when she's being pushed too hard. You'll know when she's happy and you'll know when she's hurting. For thousands of years, sailors have referred to boats as women, and for good reason. The feminine energy is nurturing, protective, and powerful. She will give everything she is to cradle you through the worst storm you've ever experienced on the ocean. But she demands care. She demands respect. She demands attention. If you ignore her, she'll let you know. If you neglect her, she'll push back. And if you mistreat her, she will break, and maybe break you with her. The second relationship you're about to start is with the ocean. The sea doesn't care about your comfort, your confidence, or your dreams. It isn't malicious, it's just indifferent. It will test every weakness without hesitation. And in that indifference, there is both danger and beauty. Because nothing out here is personal. You either rise to meet the sea as you are, or you don't. That's where we start. Not with tools or techniques, but with the mindset of the captain. Because the moment you decide to sail offshore, you're the captain. Before you buy the boat, before you cast off the lines, before you know half of what you need to know, you're the captain. And the truth is, if you don't claim that role, someone else will. Your crew, your partner, your dock neighbor. Out here, hesitation is danger. Indecision is risk. Human beings are wired to lead or follow. In moments of crisis, if you falter, someone else will step up, and it may not be the right person. This is why you must be the captain. Even if you don't know the answer, you lead the conversation, you get input, you make the decision. That is leadership offshore, and that is the job. If you're still here with me, thank you so much for letting me share that with you. The book will be out in a couple months. I'm going to put it out on Patreon first, and actually, if you're on Patreon, I'm putting out chapter by chapter anyway, so you'll have it in PDF form. And then when it's done, I'll be signing some copies for my patrons, and then I'll be announcing it on YouTube and you guys can get it. It'll come out in audiobook and print version, depending on which one you like better. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.